Hi guys, how are you doing? Hope you are all well and safe. Not in the studio today. Today I'm going to be starting to paint a mural. If you remember, a few weeks ago I designed a mural for Francis's outhouse. This is the outhouse. This is the wall we're going to put the mural on. I've got loads and loads of paints. We're going to use household emulsions to start with. So I've got this big tub of green. That's going to be like the base colour. And then I've got all these little pots of testers. She lives right next to a train line. Can you hear the train? My word, let that go. So we've got all these testers, these little pots of paints. And they're just household emulsions. That's a long train. We've got all these household emulsions, so we're going to use that to start with because it's going to be way cheaper. And then when I get them really vibrant colours in, I'm going to bring out the acrylic paints, artist acrylic paints. So, less talking and more painting. Starting this mural, I was really proud that I was utilising these old decorating skills that I had years ago when I was a painter and decorator. And you can see I'm not using any masking tape to cut in or anything like that. I was feeling quite smug. And there, I got the very first brushful I put on, I got a massive daub of paint right between the eyes. And I thought, I can't wipe it off. It'll be on the video and everybody will think I'm a complete amateur. But I kept on anyway. So first of all, I've got this nice green. We bought a full tub of this green to get on the base coat, because what I want to try and do is replicate this mural that I've painted digitally. So we've got a lot on here, and I thought if I put this base coat on, I can then start using the little smaller parts, you can see them on the table there, to blend in while the emulsion paint's still wet. I wanted to kind of get that real painterly look. You can see now I'm actually starting to cut out shapes or leave shapes of objects, flowers and the bird bath, and there's a table on the right. Just leaving them blank, not because I'm worried about the colour not going over the green, but more as a reference to where objects are. So I'm sort of setting it out, all of the objects as I'm going. That was my plan. I'd only got a couple of 3 hours to get this done. So, or the first coat. So as you can see, I'm now sort of putting the blue in of this bit of the sky in the middle. You can see I'm blending those colours in quite nice where the blue's blending into the green. And that worked really well. These little pots, they're only like £1 a piece, UK pounds, so not too expensive. And we bought loads and loads of colours, and that meant I didn't have to do a lot of mixing at this stage. I'd sort of got pots of colour that were very close to the art. We took the artwork to the hardware store with us to select the paints, and we got the iPhone out with the artwork on. I was going, oh yeah, that colour would match that, and that colour would match that. And now you can see I'm sort of putting in the shadows. I'm outlining the sunflowers. There we go. So I'm referencing the iPad. I keep turning around. I'm looking at the iPad to see where objects are fit in, and I progressed like that till the end of the first day. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to get all of the rest of it recorded. There was, for some reason, it didn't record everything. So this is actually as far as I got at the end of the first day. I'm really happy with it because I've got in all of the shapes, all the main shapes in the right places. It's looking just like the digital design that I produced. So really excited to crack on with this on the second day, but that's not going to be until 2 more days time. I've got a little bit of a wait before I go again. So just cannot wait. Right, it's day 2 and I'm back doing the mural at Fran's house. It's not such a nice day today. It's raining a little bit. This is how far I got on the first day. I didn't show you the brushes I used. I used this, I guess it looks like a 4-inch flat brush, decorator's wool brush, to get in all the basic greens. And then I've just got these decorator's brushes, a 2-inch, 3-inch, and this 1-inch brush. And I've got an 1/2-inch brush as well. That one. So those were the brushes I used. Let's put this down. Not fair. Those were the brushes I used to get to this stage. I've done with that one now. That one can go away. There's that train again. Loving the train. And I'll probably still use these, but today, because I might be doing a bit more detail, I'm going to introduce a couple of decorators brushes, artist brushes. We couldn't find, because we use these little pots of sample emulsions for walls, we couldn't find a really nice green. So I'm using some acrylics for the greens and for some of the more vibrant colours. And I've got my mole stick, because I'm going to need that for leaning on the wall when I'm doing the detail work, because I do tend to shake a bit. So let's crack on. You can see in the top left corner the image that was on my iPad that I was using. You'll keep seeing me turning my head to have a look at that as the reference image that I used throughout the process. I didn't do any sketching in or anything. I just sort of winged it straight with the paint on the old thing really. And I actually used, you see the beams and the cross braces on the building structure. I used those as sort of a grid method to work out where things were on the very first day. So it was quite easy to sort out where everything went. I'm still using the paints that came from the hardware store, just the household emulsions that were £1 a tub, and I found them very useful for getting in most of the painting. So the old mural probably cost us, I don't know, 20 UK pounds or something like that. No, maybe 30, because she did buy a big tub of paint as well for the base colour. Definitely no more than that. And I'm putting in this darker blue, and what I'm working on now, I'm building it up in layers. So I look at the painting and I think, okay, what have we got behind the sunflowers? What have we got behind those pink flowers? And I'm painting sort of working from the distance and then coming forward. That's the approach I've taken with it. And on this day, I'm still not really concentrating too much on detail. I'm just putting in those leaves, and they pretty much go in with 2 strokes of the 1-inch decorator's brush. I still haven't got down into really using artist brushes at this point. I'm still using the decorator's brushes. Although I have got an artist brush in my hand, you'll see, so I must have been doing a little bit. With that flat, I can't really tell what brush I've got there. No, it's a decorator's brush. Yeah, decorator's brush, definitely. Well, that's what I'm using now anyway. So still, I'm painting negative shapes now. And can you see right in the middle, the dark blue, where I've sort of painted in these stalks and left them in as the underpainting. I've done that with the leaves there. Look, I've put those leaves in and I'm painting them in as negative shapes, ready for some more detail to go over the top of those. So that won't be like the finished look in that area. That'll just be another layer of underpainting. So I spent quite a bit of time. In fact, we had to go back to the hardware store and get some more of this dark blue. We used a lot of that. Really, we used about 3 little pots on the old painting. That was the only one that we had to buy extra colours for. All of the others we just bought the one pot and there was enough colour in there. And I was mixing these colours together, not at this stage, I didn't, but I did find that I could mix the emulsions together. Doing a little bit of stencil work there. You see, I'm sort of just tapping the paintbrush to get a sort of a stencil effect to soften off the bottom edges of some of those leaves. I didn't want it to all look too sort of, I don't know, like an illustration. I wanted it to look painterly, and the more we add, the more painterly it gets, really, especially when I start getting into the artist brushes and start using those. See, I've got a gap there now where the little basket goes, and I'm starting to think about how that's going to fit in, and sort of painting negative shapes again around that basket. And you can see where that's sort of going to be the handle that I've put in there. So again, no real, I guess I'm drawing with the paintbrush, really. But no charcoal or anything like that, all done with just the paint, with referencing the image on the iPad all the time for colours and shape and so on. And I do take a few artistic liberties as well and add a few things and make a few things up, but it's still looking pretty much like the reference image that you can see there. Back to the dog colour again, putting in a few more leaves. Sorry that I've got in the way there, being considerate of me. What I want to do now is take this green colour, and you can see on the reference image that we've got this sort of lighter green around those white flowers. So I start sketching in, I guess, where I want those flowers to be. And then I take a white colour. Actually, it's a pink. It's a very soft pink to put the petals on those flowers. And then I start putting in these little pink flowers. Just here, there and everywhere. Well, here, there and everywhere. I mean, I'm looking at the reference, try and get them in the same place. And then I start to think about the sunflowers. And I have to say, I'm quite happy with how I did the middles, and then I put these petals around the edge, and I must have been getting really tired because it was getting close to the end of the day, and the petals, as you can see, they're nothing like sunflower petals, and they're nothing like my reference image, really. I think I'd stop looking at it, and I just put these petals in, and when I'd done it, I thought, oh, they just look like discs, cylindrical discs. I really need to sort that out. But at the time, I was oblivious to what I was doing, and I just carried on regardless, painting in these flowers. But you see, I left a few gaps to indicate where there's going to be some darker petals as well. So yeah, when I stood back, they just looked like, I don't know, dinner plates, really, not flowers at all. So I didn't resolve that day. I think I sorted that out on the next visit I made. So that's it. That is the completed work on day 2 of the project. Well, it's day 4, painting the mural. I came in the middle of the week just for a couple of hours, and it was absolutely teeming it down with rain, so I didn't record anything that day. I didn't want to get all my cameras wet and everything, so unfortunately I didn't get any recording. And you can see we've come a long way with it. We've got quite a bit of detail in here, but we're doing a lot more today. We've got a little robin that they've got in the garden, and they've said, can we put that in the painting? So I'm going to have that perched on the bird bath there. So looking forward to doing that. And I've got an assistant. Fran, come in. This is Fran. She's my youngest daughter. And she's going to be helping and painting. We're going to have a blast. So let's just crack on. So as you can see there in that quick day 4 intro, I'd sorted out the issue with the sunflowers, and I'd changed the petals there. And now I'm putting in this robin. I'm using my iPhone. I found a reference of a robin on the internet, and I'm just popping that in there. As you can see, I'm using an artist brush, and I'm using artist quality, not artist quality, they're really student quality acrylic paints for artists. So look like little tubes of paint. And all the work we did today was pretty much, all the detail work definitely was done with artist acrylic paints. Having said that, this bit I'm doing here, putting this sort of detail, I call it detail, it's not really detail, sort of illusion of detail on this bird bath. I'm using the emulsion paints again, and I mixed a few of the tester colours together to come up with this nice sort of buff colour that I'm using to just give the impression of a little bit more detail. And while I'm doing this, you can't see, she's not on camera. I don't know why we didn't film for her. You can just see her hand popping in from time to time. She's painting the flowers next to me. So it was really cool being with Fran, because she'd been living in Australia for a few years, and we'd spent time apart, and now she's back in the UK, only a few miles from where I live, with a boyfriend and partner. So it was really cool to spend the time painting with her. We had a real good laugh that day when I was painting this. I moved onto the table now, and on day 3, which you didn't see, I put in kind of a lot of underpaintings on the table, on this basket, and on that bird bath as well. So now, because it's all nice and dry, I can go in and put the final details in there. Got lots of tissue for wiping stuff away. Painting a blackbird in here, and I did actually roughly sketch in. You might be able to see the pencil marks. I really roughly just sort of sketched in a quick idea of where this blackbird should go, and then I totally messed it up because the drawing was a bit crap, and it looked more like a pigeon, and then it looked like a pheasant, and I got it in a bit of a mess. But eventually I got there, and I had to sort of go around the outline of it and tidy it up a bit. I think there, just at that point, it's looking a bit like a pigeon, and then I don't know what it looks like there. It looks really bad. So I have to get the darker colour out again, and I decided that it's got this little tiny pinhead, which is not what blackbird looks like at all. So that, believe it or not, blackbird gave me more trouble than all the rest of the mural put together, just getting that right. And I think it was because I was at such an awkward angle on a pair of steps, sort of twisting around trying to look at the source photo, that I'm making excuses, but there you go. That sort of gave me a few problems, but I got there in the end, and I had to put a lighter colour around it so you could actually see the thing. And that's the lady blackbird, so that's brown. There's much more brown in that one, and the blackbird that's on the basket, that is actually black with the orange beak, because that's the male that's singing to the female. That's the story. That's the plot line behind it anyway. So then we just finished off with a few more bits of detail, but that's about it. So I'm going to hand you back to the live recording just to finish off the video. Wow, that's it. We've finished. It's 2:10 in the afternoon, so we've been on it about 4 hours. Fran's painted all these little yellow flowers and all these white ones. She's put the sort of detailing on all of those. Helped out loads. Why, I've put in this little robin. Look, we've got the robin there. They've got 2 blackbirds in the garden as well, so we've got them in. We've got one here whistling his head off, going and then up here we've got another one. I don't think you can see that one, but we've got absolutely crammed it with detail. Things that we've done different to the original design, we decided to put these little flowers in yellow rather than white. But pretty much that, and the birds that we've added, we've took the blue tit out because they haven't got any blue tits in their garden. So we thought we'd make it like personal to this garden. So we've got the robin that's different and the blackbirds, but everything else is pretty much like the original design. So that's it. What a lot of fun we've had doing this. And I think you like it, don't you, Fran?
Yeah, love it.
Ah, fantastic. So that's it. I hope you've enjoyed this video, everybody, as much as we've enjoyed making it for you. And if you liked it, give us a thumbs up. Always appreciated. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, because I've got loads of videos, nothing like this, but lots of videos about digital painting that I'm sure you'll enjoy. So don't forget, everybody, stay safe, stay sane, and keep painting. Bye.